is just flabbergasted. She's like, what does what I did with my children when they were younger have anything to do with the fact that she has a growing ball on her shin that does not allow her to walk? Like, literally, guys, at some point I could not walk. I remember by the time I got to my mom, I couldn't put any weight on it, I couldn't use it, I couldn't stretch it. It was so weird, and it was a big old bump at that point. It was very bad. a Lyft Uber, like, you know, 0 to none, but somehow there was a miracle. A miracle happened. This man found an Uber Lyft. I forget what it was, but this man was willing to drive him from Ann Arbor to Kalamazoo, to where I was. I sent him my location and everything. And so I told my parents, my boyfriend's gonna come get me, and they were like, hallelujah. They were so happy. They were very grateful that this kid, in their eyes, is gonna go save their daughter. And he did. I waited for him for a few hours. Mind you, I was up all night. I was up all night this night, because I was like, I had my bags with me. I was just like very vigilant. At the end, the driver was on the phone with Greyhound, and Greyhound was like, we'll get you a hotel room, but we're not getting anyone else a hotel room. Asked me if I got my money back. I didn't. So they didn't even take us to our final destination, and they just abandoned us. The bus driver got her. She got her hotel room. She abandoned me. And that was that. So like, fuck you, Greyhound. But anyways, never got my money back. And I did complain. But anyways, yeah, so my boyfriend eventually came to get me, picked me up, and we asked the Uber driver, can you like drive us back? Because there was no one else on the streets, there was nobody else. So he said, yes, thank everything. Honestly, like, this man was our savior that night. And so he drove us back to Ann Arbor. And it's funny because as soon as I got in the car, like, we hugged each other, my boyfriend and I, and we're like, thank God. Or thank the heavens, thank whatever you guys believe in. Oh, like, thank goodness. He was happy that I was okay. Like, as soon as we saw each other, we knocked out. I got in that car. Heavens knows what became of us, because next thing you know, we open our eyes and we're home. And I don't know, because I didn't order the Uber, but he told me he gave that man a really great tip. Because yeah, from Ann Arbor to Kalamazoo and back with the blizzard snowstorm surcharge that they probably do, plus it was